Hi all. Sorry about that delay. Little problem logging on, but we're here. I'm here. So excited. I'm so excited to be with you today to put on this Facebook Live. Thank you so much. And thank you as I get positioned here. Sorry about that. I am at Boston University. I'm Joan Salge Blake. I am a nutrition professor here at Sargent College. I am also the MSDI. I am the DI director. So all of you are to be or RDs to be, come on to our program, and I'll be your DI director. I teach nutrition courses here. I teach courses to undergraduates and to graduate students. I've written textbooks, and one textbook that I've written is called Intro to Nutrition, and this is for a very large nutrition class of people who want to be into the field of nutrition or know more about it for personal reasons, but not necessarily want to go into and be a career move there. So it's fun, and we're at a wonderful profession here in the nutrition world because there's so much science behind it, and there's so much interest in the community for people to come to be registered dietitians. I'm going to roll back quite a few years to tell you how I got into becoming a registered dietitian. I was working for a company called the Pillsbury Company, yes, that little doughboy, and I was out working, and over time I started to look a little like the Pillsbury doughboy. So with that, I put myself on a diet, and lost weight. And, as an Italian who loves to eat, losing weight is really, really challenging. But I love that feeling of accomplishment for getting the job done and making sure that I was able to keep it off, which we know is hard to do. I felt so good about this, and I said, I want to help people do that. So I went back to school and got an undergraduate in nutrition, went on and got a master's degree in DI, a master's here at Boston University. I never left the place. Was trained at Beth Israel Deaconess in Boston, and I graduated and started a private practice. And this was in the 1980s, I'm muffling the date there, in the 80s when nobody had a private practice, and was with a bunch of physicians who really believed in nutrition. Can you imagine in the 80s you have physicians that believed in nutrition as part of the disease prevention treatment? So I was so lucky about that, and I went on to, was able to write a book and then start teaching here at Boston University, and went on to mentor a lot of students, and just so happy over the years how many of our students have gone on to become fabulous practitioners in the RD world. So thrilled that I could have been part of their life. I think that it is a wonderful, wonderful career to go into, and anyone who is thinking about it, it's a career that if you're really passionate about helping people feel better about themselves and fight all these chronic diseases with a fork and a knife, as I like to say, go for it. It is so rewarding. And to tell you the truth, with over 70% of Americans overweight in the United States, and because of that increases their risk of heart disease, certain cancers, stroke, and type 2 diabetes, my goodness gracious, you have so many people that you can go out there and you can help and really make a difference in people's lives. So I really, truly enjoy what I'm doing, and I really advocate for you to all follow your passion to help people with the love of food and exercise and lifestyle changes, and you'll be trained well and be able to go out and do that. So that's great. I also, in addition to writing textbook, I do a lot of media work. I've done over 1,500 media interviews. I write for the Boston Globe and U.S. News and World Report, Today's Dietitian, or anybody that will hire me to write for them. And my passion, again, is to take the science, because nutrition is a science. It's not a fad, it's a science. Take the science and break it down into understandable terms so that the public can identify with it, personalize it, and make positive changes in their life. And so that's what we have to do in the only way to do that is have command of the science so that we can ratchet it down to a consumer level, but keep the accuracy. And that's so, so important. So I'm so fortunate to be blessed to have these kinds of opportunities that have come my way, and I'm just passionate about it. The other thing I love about being a registered dietitian nutritionist is that you can have multiple hats. As I said, I was a writer. As I said, I kept a private practice for years at night to help people. I also taught in the classroom. I mentored dietetic interns. I mentor undergraduate students. I give lectures out in the public. I give lectures at peer conferences. So it is such a fabulous, fabulous opportunity to really, really branch out and do a lot of different things with the world of nutrition, to follow the science, to stay on top of the science. And also, we have another role in our life. Years ago when I was with my graduate students here at Boston University, I would tell them that we were in the job of prevention. We wanted to prevent the heart disease, the cancer, the stroke, the type 2 diabetes, which we know now is out of control. But we have another issue here. We are no longer in the business of just prevention. We are in the business of prevention and protection. We need to protect the consumer. So it is so, so important because there is so much quackery out there. And we as trained registered dietitian and nutritionists have to go out there and fight the quackery with good science, because the quackery can hurt. It can hurt a lot of people. It can delay them from getting real help in their diet that treat their chronic diseases, and it can actually be dangerous. I had the absolute joy to be at the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics media spokesperson for almost 10 years. So I was trained from the best to go out there and to put out the fires in the media, that all the craziness that people are saying, and the people that are saying that are not credible registered dietitian nutritionists do not have a science background, and it is are repeating fallacious information that could be problematic. So I've had years of training to do this, and I continue to be passionate about this. And it is our job, all of us as registered dietitian nutritionists, even RDs to follow the science and to make sure that we're getting out accurate information to the public. And that's something that we're going to have to do for the rest of our lives. I want to tell you about another endeavor I've just done that I'm so excited about. I started a podcast called Spot On. That's Spot On with an exclamation point. And you can download Spot on any podcast platform. It's on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, anywhere you hear podcasts. And this is the reason why I did this, because after years of teaching a big undergraduate nutrition class, 200 students that are in the class, and they are so inquisitive and so misinformed by social media, what's on the Instagram and what is on Facebook and on Twitter, that they would ask me questions in class. Why is Kim Kardashian sucking on this lollipop that says that she can lose weight? Why can she lose weight and suck on a lollipop? Why is Gwyneth Paltrow telling us that we should be eating this in order, or detoxing our body by drinking this for several days on end? And we would go through these questions at the beginning of the class, and I would teach them how to critically think. Where is the science that say that Kim Kardashian, or not, but some people call Dr. Kim Kardashian, be out there that can say sucking on a lollipop can help you to lose weight? Where is the science on that? So I would teach these students, 200 of them, how to critically think, because once they left me, I wanted to protect them. So what happened after years of doing this, I said, oh my goodness, this is a podcast. why don't I do a podcast to augment the class, and to also, why not just help the public with all of these trending issues that we're hearing on social media? This keto diet, the keto to paleo diet, gluten-free, who should really be gluten-free? Intermittent fasting, what does it say? I did one the other day with my very good friend Marcy Evans, that is what Instagram does to your brain. And it is absolutely fascinating how the neurons change in your head when you're watching Instagram, seeing pictures of other people's successes and what that does for you. It is absolutely fascinating. And so what I'm doing is every week coming up with a timely topic that will help you, help the public, help my students better critically think, to see what's trending and to get a better understanding of the science behind the fad diets that are out there. So if anybody has any questions and you want to type in, feel free to do that, to take any questions or write a comment. Love to answer them. I have been in this dietetic field for a very, very long time, and I'm just thrilled and excited to keep on changing what's happening in the field. I'm recently in the House of Delegates for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and I am so excited about moving the profession along and helping us get more unified to help the public, and making sure that we, as dietitians, registered dietitians, nutritionists, really, really are part of the table when it comes to diet and health advice, which is so, so important. So again, I'm going to ask anybody that you have a question to please log on. I've got some questions ahead of time that I'd like you I can answer for you. People want to know where they can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and I made this very, very easy for you. It's at Joan Salge Blake, so just put the whole darn long name in there, and you can find me at both social media platforms. And again, I'm very, very big in supporting other types of dietitians, to support one another, because the better that we can focus together and support one another, the bigger and more powerful that we all become. So really, really exciting. In addition to some of the media that I do or teaching that I do, the only thing that Mother Nature gives you as you get older, because we all know, that's why I have glasses on, because things get old in the body, but the one thing that happens that's great, wisdom. Wisdom happens when it's great as it gets older, and that's, gosh, the only thing. So with wisdom comes the ability to share my long time successes and failures, because that's where I've learned the most in life, failures, as most of us do, and to mentor students along their journey. And I love, love, love to do that. I've done that with my alumni here at BU, and to this day we're still connected. But what I also am enjoying doing, and something that I advocate for you all to get involved in, if you can, along the lines, is to be on advisory boards. And to be on advisory boards for food, or for organizations that really speak to you, that really help the consumer want to help to eat better and live a healthier life, and to advise them based upon the knowledge that you've had, based upon the experience that you've had going through this life. I've racked up a lot of them, but even if you're just starting out, you're coming from a perspective, what you're bringing to your stage of the life cycle, what you are bringing that you can help, and help people within your world. If you're a millennial or you're a Gen Z, you're identifying with this category, and I can identify where their needs are. If you're boomers, you're identifying what the needs are. If you're a young family member and you have young children, you're identifying where the needs are to help the public fit nutrition into their lives. And that I've always said that about my nutrition graduates. We're trained to take our nutrition expertise and fit it into their lifestyle. And there's barriers across the life cycle that make eating healthy and juggling so problematic. But that's what we're good at. So I really, really support that you identify with a group based upon your age or where you are in the life cycle and reach out and help that. I did that when I had children. Wrote a lot about feeding kids, how to feed them healthy, get dinner on the table, quickly. Now I'm very much into Gen Zs and millennials because they're my students and I see them and I see some of the problems going through that. So I really encourage all of you to find your passion and really, really help the public, to improve their health and their lifestyle, basically one bite at a time. So glad to be talking about that today. So let me see some other questions that have come up. I want to tell you an interesting story about how I got to write a textbook. And this is a sad story that had a great ending. And it was a really sad story. Back in the 2000s, I had one of the best jobs I ever had. I've always taught at Boston University, but this was one of the most fabulous jobs I had, and I was a nutrition expert for an online health website called Thrive, not the Thrive with the Huffington Post, not that Thrive. This was Thrive many years ago. And this was probably one of the most rewarding jobs that I have ever had. I was able to be on the World Wide Web, as we called it back then, in the late 90s, and really doing on-air weight loss management class, cholesterol lowering classes, chats. If you can remember chats, when they would log on and do a chat in a chat room, if you can even imagine that still occurs, or what that was. And it was by far one of the most fabulous, rewarding careers that I've had. And I was able to do that because I was clinically trained here in Boston. And so I understood the ramifications of my words. So I knew that all my words had to be science-based to make sure that if I didn't say anything, it was going to hurt someone. And I always would tell my graduate students here at Boston University, you're liable for your words. So before you open up your mouth, whether it's in a patient one-to-one or 1 to 1 million on CNN, you got to make sure that you really know what you're talking about. So my training allowed me to talk to millions on the internet. And then one Tuesday, 2 airplanes flew into the Twin Towers in New York City, and which was a horrific day in America's life. And for Thrive, it was the end of Thrive, because the signaling towers were on the roof of the World Trade Center. So for a month, it was black. There was no signaling for Thrive. You couldn't occur. That, coupled with the dot-com boom, took down the entire website and the ability to stay afloat. And it was, that compares nothing of the tragedy of 9/11, but it's interesting how it snowballed and how it cost this wonderful opportunity for me just to go poof and away. And I was sad. I was sad with the country for 9/11. I was sad for myself because I loved Thrive, but it was gone. And then one day at Boston University at 5:30 in the morning in the middle of the winter, because I used to teach an 8 o'clock class, a little postcard came in from Pearson, the textbook publisher, and it said, Professor Salge Blake, would you like to write a textbook? And I'm sitting here at 5:30 in the morning, in the freezing cold of winter, thinking, I like teaching this course. I love these students. I'm changing their lives. Why don't I write a textbook? And that's how that all came about. So my passion for helping people with their lives just went on paper. When it went from the classroom onto paper. I am going to tell you, though, if anybody asks you to write a textbook, please email me so we can talk this through, salge@bu.edu. So please email me, because let me tell you, it's a big undertaking, very rewarding, but a big undertaking. And I just want to tell you that story because so many times in my life I've had failures, or in that case, the rug pulled out from underneath me, and I thought everything that was going so great just stopped, and it made me sad. And all I know now is that my grandmother, my Italian grandmother, would tell me is that when one door opens or one door closes, a window will open and an opportunity will come by. So I really, really encourage all of you to follow your passion. There's going to be bumps in the road. You're going to fail more than you are successful. Trust me on that. But as you get better at it, the failures will be smaller and the successes will be really, really big and rewarding. And we have a great, great opportunity here in the field of nutrition to support one another, to help one another, to stay science-based, and really have an impact on the world and the public. And we need to keep doing our doing, and again, using nutrition for prevention, but also to protect the public. So I welcome that you at any time want to run anything by me, an idea, something I could help you mentor. I'd be more than happy to do that. Again, it's salge@bu.edu, as in Boston University. Love to hear how I can help you in any way in your journey, because we are a strong population, a strong organization, where we have older people like myself, but young inside, to help mentor the next generation going forward, and let's all work together to do that. So with that, I'm going to sign off and tell you how much I really and truly appreciated being on this Facebook Live. And again, if you have a moment, please download Spot on your favorite podcast provider. And we also have a Spot On Facebook page if I'd love you to join. So with that, I hope to hear from you.